title of the workshop is display. So I'm just playing on the word display, right? And what I asked the participants to do in the morning was to think of the word display and find their own personal meanings for the word display. So it's nice to see them make these unusual connections with the word display. And after they do that, then we said, let's just select 3 most unusual words that you have come up with. So each participant started with some 15 to 20 words, and then we then narrowed it down to 3 most unusual words. So their task is now to cut up each and every letter and form their words. And while they're forming the words, we want these words to become a visual unit. They don't have to be really very legible, as long as they become a visual unit where there is a balance of positive, negative spaces. And thereby they learn to look at the individual shapes of the words, and the interaction between each and every letter. We're going to use these units as the main visual content to create typographic abstractions. And then these abstractions will have really no connection to how they began. So you begin, the beginning is just a platform, like coming up with these words, just to make them think about display. But what it will end up as typographic abstractions.
Basically, the first half of this workshop tells them about the basic of calligraphy. Is how tools create a different impact on the letter structure, the angle, and how to follow the grammar of calligraphy. Calligraphy as a whole, by taking Devanagari as a case study. And then after lunchtime, they will play with the structures of the letter, as well as they will play with the different tools and its manipulation. So, end of the workshop, we expect that they will come out with new concepts for the display typeface, which is a bigger size typeface. So, they are rigorously now trying to understand what is the grammar of basic calligraphy, because on which even the typography grammar is based, or type design grammar is based. So, it is basically, we believe in calligraphy works as a tool, systematic way of visualizing the new ideas for type design.
We're going to use the medium of bamboo in various formats, in lines or circles, dots, and these are also in a way the way you can look at printing techniques. So use sections of bamboo, do things with that, and construct things which is not typography. It's not like words, or it's not making any sensible combination of types. So participants are free to construct anything. So it could be artworks, it could be installations, it could be furniture, it could be new types of fonts derived based on bamboo and its qualities. So it's kind of an open brief. So it requires a lot of decision making from the participants' side.
workshop is based on Typography, which is a format of workshops that a few of us started and continue to build in Delhi, primarily in Delhi, although it is possible to do it in different places as well. And the premise of the workshop is to create experimental typography in public spaces. To spell interesting messages that people can be intrigued by and look at when they're passing by. And we always use very cost-effective materials which are readily available, and ideally materials which don't have an impact on the environment or are not permanent. So the idea of the typography works at multiple levels. At the level of experimental lettering, it's interesting to see how there are so many different ways of creating modular letter forms, either using materials as pixels or as lines, or folding, or letting something flow in different ways. And the other aspect of the typography is about the message and how certain materials or certain ways of lettering really reflect the message very, very well. And the third idea is to figure out from the materials perspective, how can you take something very random which is lying around like dry leaves or stones, and put them together in an interesting structure to just quickly create something, and the fact that it's temporary becomes even more interesting. So we've brought that idea into the workshop here today. The first part of the workshop was a warm-up session where everybody was invited to take materials which were readily available on campus and exploring them in trying to create individual letter forms or small words. The second part of the workshop, which they've just started working on right now, is in teams where each team has been given one word and one material, and the constraint that they can only work with that particular material, and they need to try and bring out the meaning of that word. So the words are from a phrase in Assamese, which we thought would be relevant because we're having the workshop in Guwahati.
This is about expressive typography and font design. This is an attempt at understanding emotions of fonts, expressions of fonts, and helping the participants move towards font creation exercise. So there are two things we are trying to do to make them aware of how fonts are related to emotions, and then how it can be used in developing a new font. So we are doing two things at the same time.
I'm doing an introduction to type design workshop, and in a one-day workshop I don't think that you can teach everything there is to know about type design, but I'm trying to cover all of the concepts that are very different about making a real typeface as opposed to drawing a set of letters. So we're talking about what's the difference between lettering and a typeface, what are the things that you have to consider when drawing a typeface and making a system of letters, and then looking at some of the tools that are available to help you make a typeface efficiently. So different pieces of software, as well as design decisions that you have to remember to think about as you make a typeface.
workshop is about the mechanics of designing type, the actual physical things that you do to create a typeface as opposed to the artistic things, the innovative ideas, thinking, designing, that sort of stuff. This is about how you physically go about and do it. And what I'm teaching the students is how to use the tools, essentially, because there are special tools that are specifically designed for creating typefaces, as opposed to just general drawing tools like Adobe Illustrator, which people use to design graphics. But typefaces are different. There are specific kinds of graphics, and so there are special tools which we use to make it easier, faster, more efficient to create typefaces. So what we're doing today is we're learning about those tools and how to use them, and we're actually practicing making a font and going through the steps one by one that we need to make a font. And at the end of the day, hopefully, everybody in the class hopefully will have made a small little font and gone through the whole process and know how to do it.